step up. Here we go.
Hello guys.
Let's get
Hello,
the-
are you sitting up here
Yeah.
or for a little? Or,
I'll sit up with you.
here we are again.
I just want to say something to start. It's a pleasure promoting this young man. It's been a pleasure promoting this guy right here. He's a true blood and guts warrior, and every fight you've ever seen from this guy, he's given 110% of himself. And tonight he fought one of the great fighters of all time, who fought like one of the great fighters of all time. I mean, this was a tremendous performance by Loma. Anybody who, including myself, who was wondering whether Loma was starting to get, long on the tooth or whether he had passed his prime, I think tonight was a brilliant performance by a brilliant fighter. And you saw this young man give everything he had until he couldn't any longer. And sometimes you just get hurt, and that's it. You got to go on and you got to live your life. He's got a family. He's got to go home too.
100%.
I'm so proud of him, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity I've had to come to Australia time and again and to work with a wonderful guy like this.
Thank you.
Right, you're leaving.
Here we are again. Obviously, not as planned. We wanted to win this fight. We prepared extraordinary. There's not one bit I can look back and say we did that wrong. As my coach Anton said, clean tail. It was a clean tail, and I've got to give credit to my team. My coach Anton put in a lot of work, a lot of months. Ramon came in as well the last few weeks, and my father, manager Jim Kambosos, behind the scenes, incredible work. My promoter, Lou DeBella Entertainment. Everything was perfect, and everything was perfect in the first few rounds. We did very good. We stuck to the game plan, and then fortunately the fight started to change. I remember, I think around 4 or 5, he did catch me with a bit of a shot in the back of the side of the equilibrium. Kind of did buzz me, and started to change things around in the fight game. So, I stepped to the best. Like I said in the ring, I'm a mold of the old school, the Toro Gaddis and Mickey Wards, and I'm a blood and guts warrior. I leave it all in the line. I didn't want to get stopped. I wanted to get back up, but ref and obviously my father, always look after the fighter, and I've got a family, I've got 3 kids, and I've got to go back to them and show them that dad's still here, dad's still healthy, and Kambosos is a good talker, so we don't want to be slurring our words. Lomachenko, what can I say? True champion, a legend of this sport, one of the best amateurs of all time, one of the best fighters in history, and he deserved his moment tonight. He deserved the belts. It is what it is, but again, I'm proud of Kambosos and a guy from Sydney, Australia, with 100 amateur fights. Went over and took over the world and became undisputed, won all the belts, and then went straight to the deep and fought the best of the best. And again, we picked up another belt and went, okay, Lomachenko, let's make this fight happen. And you can ask Lou, myself and my father, pushing so hard for that fight. And it shows the kind of warrior I am, kind of mentality I have. And every round, in that fighter, team kept asking you, okay, you good? I'm a warrior, keep going.
That's probably George's problem.
Until I couldn't give any more. But it's okay. Live to fight another day, and we'll see what's next. But for now, I'm proud to sell out another beautiful stadium, and we've done so much, for Australian boxing, and it's not finished yet. Any questions? Or maybe I gave everything there.
Was he what you expected in your job?
At the start, perfect game plan. Body, that was the game plan. Break the body down, landing beautiful body shots. Then when he kind of started picking up the timing and he landed some good shots, I still felt good. I still felt very strong. I felt like I was hitting with him hard shots. It's starting to slow him down. Being told that the sides were getting raw, and the red marks were making effect. And then like I said, he did catch a nice shot, back of that equilibrium shot, and shows the warrior I am. Got a little bit buzzed, but kept fighting on. But it did change the fight a little bit. It did change my momentum, and he started picking up on that momentum, my timing. Then I pushed hard in the mid rounds. I think 7, 8.
Yeah. We
still landed some good shots. We started getting our time. We started faking a lot more and making him hesitate. But then he picked up on it again, and that's a guy who's had so many amateur fights and 16, 17 world title fights. Well, this was my 5th in a row. So it is what it is. Of course my my pride is hurt. I never want to be stopped. But we went out against one of the all-time greats, future Hall of Fame, and a future Hall of Famer, and I'm still here. Kambosos is still alive, still battling on.
When Loma's on his game, when he's at his pinnacle, and I think tonight you saw one of the great performances. Even now at this stage of his career, one of the best performances of his career. There's a reason they call him the Matrix. His movement and the angles are just almost impossible to prepare for. You could try to bring in people of the same style. You could try to replicate things in sparring, but until you're in that ring with him, I mean, just tonight, some of the ways he moves, some of the angles he gave, I don't have any idea how anybody could deal with it. There's a reason why he had the amateur and pro career he's had so far, because he is tremendous talent.
And I think we did show a lot of the game plans where he did make them angles and the movements slid out and try to mirror him, but then he started to catch on, and as he'd step, instead of me firing off, he was firing off some shots, but a lot of them caught well too, so it's a fight game.
At the end of the day, there's no excuses. Like I said, we can't turn around and fault anything we did. Coach Anton and Ramon, obviously, and myself, we pretty much sat and watched all the sparring, and obviously we knew the game plan. We flew in guys from Russia, Venezuela, New Zealand, some sharp amateurs. So we can't fault one thing that we did, but once again, we were so confident we can beat Lomachenko at his own game, and the guys that we used, basically 400 amateur fights in Russia, same style as Lomachenko, 2.0, Artur when we brought him out, and the other guys, and that's why we're so confident. It's just unfortunately, like you said, George, you get in that ring under those bright lights and everything's going okay, then something changes, then Lomachenko goes a gear, another gear, and he starts to hunt you down a little bit more, and George has come back to that corner, and he's just saying, I'm a warrior, I'm going to keep going. I said, George, yes, we understand you're a warrior, mate, but at the end of the day, the warrior doesn't sit in the middle of the ring and just go toe to toe. That warrior's got to execute the game plan as well. But I know George just loves the blood and guts, but the simple thing is I wasn't going to let my boy get hurt, and I could see with that shot, I was just about to throw the towel. The referee kind of just called it at the same time as I threw it. And the most important thing is he's healthy and he gets to live, fight another day, and he can go to his children and hug them. And the thing is, we brought a spectacle like this to Perth, sold out arena. I was just told that we've topped the UFC's record, so we hold the record now for the biggest attendance at the RAC. And I've got to give a lot of credit to DeBella Entertainment and Lou DeBella, who we've been working with since 2018. And we've had a lot of highs, and we obviously had the lows, but this is a high as far as I'm concerned, because it's Lomachenko in Australia. No one ever thought we'd do that.
And also I'm grateful to Jim and to Anton at the corner. One of the most important, I've been in sport a long time, and I've seen too much damage to too many fighters. And when you took the first shot to put you down, would have killed most people, and I don't know how you got up, and I really don't know how you got up. And I was sort of thinking to myself, I really hope, because I saw you also sort of going for the towel as you were.
Yeah. And I had that Gatti mentality straight away in my head.
But you would have kept going until you couldn't. But you know what? You want to work with people that understand that the fighter's life, their well-being, their health is paramount. It's more important than anything, right? I mean, if you make money and you become some kind of a legend, but you leave without your marbles and you can't enjoy your children and your family, then what's the point of it? So, I mean, I was very grateful that there was a responsible corner and management that did the right thing for the fighter.
And like I said, George is such a true warrior. The first thing when we jumped in that ring, when it was all, the referee had stopped, the towel had gone in, he just said to me, I hate getting stopped. I never thought I'd get stopped in my career. I'll go 12 rounds and lose, but getting stopped, it's, I'm disappointed. And that's what he was saying. He was more disappointed about getting stopped in the 11th rather than basically going to the judges and obviously not getting the result. So that's the kind of guy he is.
But one thing you can be damn sure of, a Spartan warrior goes down on his shield.
Oh.
Goes out on his shield. And tonight, you should be proud of the fact you went out on your shield.
And I'm just proud of the two guys that are there, Anton Kadushin and Ramon Matthews. And Anton, I know you're probably thinking, what went wrong? Nothing went wrong. At the end of the day, everything was right. It's just when the fighter's in that ring, and then you've got the opponent, and we all can do what and say what we can, and you're doing all the instructions, and Ramon, because you're the lead trainers, George is in there and trying to execute it, and it's not happening. That's just boxing. That's the way boxing goes.
I've got to give credit to especially obviously Ramon coming over, but Anton, how we met and you know what we were able to do. You know, in the training camps, you know, you put your life on hold, and I appreciate it.
You've fought big arenas, you've fought the greats, you've had all the belts. What do you want to achieve still in this sport?
I'm not sure yet. You know, for me, I'm just proud of how today was. You know, like I said, I take a lot of you know, honour and pride fighting a guy like Lomachenko. When we look back in history, you know, Lomachenko is going to go down as one of the greatest fighters, you know, in history. Not only as an amateur, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, but as a professional. And you know, something to be very proud. 11 rounds, 11 good rounds with him. Yes, landed my own shots, he landed his shots, and you know, like I said, went out on my shield against, you know, a true champion. But again, you look back at the Lopez fight, the Haney fights, you know, they've been big fights. It shows the kind of warrior I'm. I've stepped to the best of the best continuously. So yeah, I'm not sure. For now, I enjoy the moment. I enjoy being able to top the record for boxing. How good boxing, and we beat the UFC record. So that's a good feeling. That's a plus. You know, after obviously, you know, losing the fight.
And just further to that, you mentioned we're not finished yet, but when you weigh up family life as well, with career stuff, what goes through your mind when the weight goes through?
Look, I've got a beautiful family, beautiful kids. You know, I look at home and
Every fighter in the stage of his career that George is at right now, after a fight like this, where you've had a huge event, a huge build-up, a worldwide attention on it, no reason to make any decision the night of a fight. You go back to your family. Mother's Day, spend Mother's Day with his wife, and
I think that's just you and I talking
right
behind the scenes, and he takes some
It takes some
and we'll
time
work
to
it
think
out.
about it. He has every, you know, the options all lie with him, and he'll know what's right for him after he's had a chance to think about it. No pressure, no need to rush anything.
Thank you for reminding me. Happy Mother's Day, obviously, to my beautiful wife, my mother, my grandmothers, and to all the mothers celebrating this beautiful day.
And by the way, Australian boxing should be grateful to this man to my right, because he's brought the attention. Seriously, you know, he's brought the attention of the world, you know, to big events here in Australia. People now know Australian boxing's in a good place. There shouldn't be any exclusive TV deals, but that's a whole other thing. But
Yeah, true.
but in terms of what the willingness to fight anyone, the pressing desire to bring big time boxing to his people, the Australian people, Australian boxing owes a lot to this guy right here.
That's the truth, you know. Like we talk about all these other guys, and they're gonna fight this megastar and this megastar, and he's gonna fight him if he beats him. But Kambosos has fought the megastars. You know, I think I get people forget that. You know, the Lopez, the Haney, and obviously Lomachenko. These are the megastars. These are the pound for pound fighters in the world. So there's one thing saying it, and obviously the media and you guys saying it, but there's one thing doing it.
70,000 plus people have seen
Yes.
George's 3 fights on Australian soil. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
That's an amazing.
And
That's
I've
right.
got
That's
to
pretty
thank
amazing.
obviously the the fans, the Australian fans, and all the Greeks as well, and everyone, you know, all in Australia. You know, we're united as one, and you know, I appreciate all the support and all the media too. You know, I sometimes don't get my justice in the media, unfortunately, but you guys really turned up for this fight, and I really thank all you guys for supporting me. And we'll see what's next.
Yeah, and you take your time over it too.
Yeah, George, mate, you've had the 2 big fights in Melbourne, you've had the big fight here. Is Sydney on the cards considering it's your home team?
Yeah, possibly. You know, I had my plans in my head. You know, I had such a good preparation and everything was so good, and I just had that confidence. This was not an act. This was not, a little bit of doubt. No, there was no doubt. I really, truly believe, and every single one of us in our team truly believe we're going to beat this guy. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, and we'll have to wait and see. You know, like we said, and like Lou and my father said, right in this moment, we've just done it. We've just, top with the biggest attendance here at RSC Arena, and we just, went 11 rounds with, one of the best fighters of all time, a guy that was compared to Muhammad Ali. So, we'll see what's next.
Just
Maybe
one last
see.
thing too. I want to thank the Western Australian government because they really desperately wanted a big event here. They wanted George Kambosos and Loma here. They did everything to make it easy for us to come here, And thanks very much to Perth. Been a tremendous host city. Great place to visit and great place to live. And thank you to everybody involved on behalf of Perth and the Western Australia government.
Yeah, and that's the key thing you just said there. Will you go to Sydney? I mean, a lot of people don't understand how this all evolves, and Lou just nailed it by thanking the Perth government and Western Australia, you know. And I want to thank them as well, because these events are so big that you need the financial backing by the governments. And people ask questions: why isn't George fighting in Sydney? He's a Sydney boy. Why is he fighting in Melbourne? Why is he fighting in Perth? Well, it all comes down to the government supporting the event, and that's why congratulations to Western Australia, the Perth, and Rita Safioti, the Minister of Sport and everything else. And if Sydney, you know, is interested and we've got something lined up, Lou, well, we'll talk to them next. But there's a lot of moving parts behind the scenes. It's not like we get to choose where we go, or Lou gets to choose where we go. It's whoever supports these mega events. That's how it works, you know. And a lot of people don't understand, and they ask me a lot of questions. I go, mate, there's a lot they're not going to, you know.
And I got to thank too, obviously, you know, Develop Entertainment, Top Rank, TEG, Duco, Ferocious Promotions,
Yeah.
And obviously the Western Australian government. You know, all these parties, you know, play a huge part in making such a successful event.
That main event, KO, everyone involved. We're all partners in the business crown, RAC, everyone involved in this. That's why it's so successful, and we packed it out, and basically we've broken records, crowd attendances, and I'm sure the pay-per-views are going to be good, you know, and the arena was full, so it's been very successful. We just didn't get the result we wanted. That's all it is.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys.
See you next time.